Through scientific evidence, Raynard Coleman, 31 years old, was identified as the perpetrator wanted for the alleged criminal sexual conduct against minimally 6 of our victims. The investigation was a very tedious investigation. The investigation took a lot of sweat equity, and I want to give also special thanks to Crime Stoppers for their continued support of investigative efforts in the city of Detroit and in law enforcement. Mr. John Broad is here on behalf of Crime Stoppers, and also Detroit 300. Mr. Raphael Johnson, Mr. Angelo Henderson, and Minister Malik Shabazz. What's significant about their participation, if you note, the last known attack was January 14th. The suspect was apprehended on January 19th. We have a strong belief, due to the heavy presence of our police officers through our deployment efforts and Detroit 300's presence within that area, it made it extremely difficult for this predator to take any more action. So we do applaud your efforts, and thank you so much, Detroit 300, and your members that are here with you today. The Detroit Fugitive Apprehension Team and the Violent Crimes Task Force were mobilized once we got the information on January 19th from the Michigan State Police Crime Lab. The last known addresses were checked of the individual. Eventually, our surveillance led us to the area of Lansdowne and Grayton on the city's east side. At approximately 1:30 p.m., members of VCTF and what we refer to as DFAT, or the Detroit Fugitive Apprehension Team, executed a search warrant and apprehended the offender without incident. The investigation continued throughout the night, and the Detroit Police Department presented the investigation to the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office the next morning. After the investigation was presented, the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office signed the warrants and charged the defendants. And again, Mr. Dorsey will speak to the charges that were signed against the defendant.
The defendant has been charged with multiple counts of criminal sexual conduct. If you bear with me, I'm going to read the charges to you. As to the assault that took place January 1st, 2011 at approximately 5:45 a.m., the victim was an 18-year-old female. The defendant is charged with kidnapping, assault with intent to commit sexual penetration, and aggravated assault. For the assault that took place Saturday, January 1st, 2011 at approximately 6:15 in the a.m., where a 17-year-old victim, female, the defendant is charged with kidnapping, criminal sexual conduct 1, 3 counts, criminal sexual conduct 2, assault with intent to commit sexual penetration, robbery armed, felony firearm, and felon in possession. As to the assault that took place on January 4th, 2011 at approximately 3:45 a.m. involving a 26-year-old female, the defendant is charged with kidnapping, criminal sexual conduct 3 counts. As to the January 6th, 2011 at approximately 11 p.m., a 19-year-old female, defendant is charged with kidnapping, criminal sexual conduct, first degree, 2 counts, robbery armed, felony firearm, felon in possession. On January 8, 2011, at approximately 4:30 a.m., with a 20-year-old female victim, the defendant is charged with kidnapping, criminal sexual conduct, first degree, robbery armed, felony firearm, and felon in possession. As to the attack on January 10, 2011, at approximately 7:40 p.m., involving a 17-year-old female victim, the defendant is charged with kidnapping, criminal sexual conduct, first degree, 2 counts, assault with intent to rob while armed, felony firearm, and felon in possession. Those are the charges that the defendant is currently facing. He's facing multiple life offenses if convicted. Thank you.
Every person in this department, this community, outside of the community, they were extremely engaged in this process. Even to inboxes on Facebook, people were giving all kind of tips. This is one of those, moments in Detroit's history where people again say enough is enough. And there are some community norms in Detroit, and there are the people that try to exploit those norms that when those lines are crossed, you see the level of folks that are in this room. But this is just a representative sample. It's a different day in Detroit. If criminals think that they can do these types of heinous things without repercussions, there's a police department, there's a community, there's a prosecutor, there's a sheriff, there's a city that is not going to stand for it.